looking out from the entry door out onto the front porch, the arched entryway, and then coming inside into the main hallway. Close that door. And immediately as you enter, take a left turn, and that goes into the secondary bathroom. You can see the tub is in place. I just have a wooden covering on top of it to help keep it clean. And then this would be bedroom number 3. It's a little dark in here right now, but there will be plenty of lighting. You can see there's going to be one light there, and then a opportunity to put in a ceiling fan that will also have a light, and there's a third light. And here's some of the guts to it. This is a water line going to the outside hose bib on the side of the house. And if we count over, so there's the corner, then we have 1, 2 main studs. And I like the fact that the studs are doubled up in that particular situation. Not all of them are, but they're 2x6s that are stacked on top of each other. There's an electrical outlet down there. Another pair of 2x6s stacked on each other. And the orange pipe that goes all the way up to the top and into the ceiling is a fire suppression water line. In the case of fire, it will be activated. I'll have to find out exactly what the specifics are for how it's triggered and make sure that I don't exceed those parameters, especially if it's temperature related. Here's a look at something that we won't ever see once it's all closed up. That's the underside of the bathtub there. And more plumbing lines, lots of HVAC running inside the conditioned space. That'll be the closet for bedroom number 3. And this is looking through the wall into the hallway again. You can see the back side of the light switch, and there's an electrical outlet down there. Another light switch in the little walkway between the 2 bedrooms. And it looks to be a nice deep switch box, which will hopefully make it easier to install those dimmer switches. All the plumbing connections for the sink in the second bathroom. Another, what looks to be, can't tell if it's 2 or 3 gang. It looks like it's a 3 gang outlet box. And there's another standalone box. Go back into bedroom number 3 for just a minute. There's an electrical outlet right there as you first walk into the room. And there's the light switch for those two lights as well as the ceiling fan. I think the ceiling fan gets 2 of the switches, and then the other 2 lights get 1 switch to share. Also, back in bedroom number 3, there's an electrical outlet. And this will be the connecting box for the coax and the Ethernet cables. And it's kind of hidden in the dark, but over there against that wall is, there it is, another electrical outlet. So right basically in the middle of the wall. And let's go over to bedroom number 2. The rooms are a little bit small, especially bedroom number 3. Actually even, yeah, bedroom number 2 is not too bad, but it's also a bit small. But, you know, nothing that I can't handle. Again, for bedroom number 2, talked about the light switch. 1 ceiling fan, no additional lighting in this room, so a ceiling fan with a light. And looks like that's going to be a connector for the media outlet. I'm not sure because I don't think that's supposed, I didn't think that was supposed to be there, up there like that. And there's the media outlet down below as well. So if that's the case, that's okay. I'll live with that. And then there's a electrical outlet as well. And this is the back side, the other side of the bathtub. You can see the air vent, the black pipe, and then the water connections coming into it. And I'm not sure what the black shrouded line is. So coming around, also as you walk into the room, there's an electrical outlet on the outside of the closet. There's the closet. There's an outlet on the interior wall. Looks like the water line for a refrigerator. We're looking in through the wall into the kitchen. And there's another electrical outlet on this wall, on this end of the wall. There's the windowsill. Another electrical outlet. So no shortage of electrical outlets, that's for sure. There's one of the bolts securing the skirt into the foundation. Okay, let's walk back out into the main hallway. Right after we turn to the left, there's an electrical outlet in the hallway, and there's a light switch here in the hallway. There's also, don't think I mentioned it, also an electrical outlet right by the front door. And an electric box, light switches, also by the front door. A little bit of the excess foam insulation. We're not insulated yet, by the way. And this is the mudroom, walking into the mudroom. This area that is in front of me now is what will be, they call it a stop and drop. It's basically a little place to drop your things as you come in from the garage. And here we are looking into the garage. There's a switch, I guess that would be a light switch. And then the electrical lead that comes through there is the connects to the garage door opener. That's the control wire for the garage door opener. And we'll come back to the garage on the way out a little bit more thoroughly. As you step into the garage, first thing that if you walk straight ahead, is the laundry room. And here's the panel that connects all the media wiring. So that will either be a combination of coaxial cable and Ethernet connectors. And stepping into the laundry room. So there's looks to be a light switch, possibly a vent. Same thing, light switch. And these are the actual connectors for the water supply to the washing machine. And these will be the punch outs, 1 and 2, where you can drain where the washing machine will drain into. And this will be the pre-plumbed connections for the sink that will be installed in the laundry room. That looks like it will be the electrical connector or the electrical outlet for the dryer. I think that would be that one. Actually, that one's probably for the washing machine. And then this one, more likely for the dryer. And there's the hood, there's the vent for the dryer. So I have to connect a line to that vent and let it exhaust to the outside. So there's the vent line going all the way up through the ceiling, as well as all the plumbing lines. I don't know if the shrouded one is, I guess left would be cold. Am I right about that? I'm not sure. So if that's the cold water, that's the shrouded line, I think. Actually, no, they have it tagged here. Now I just realized that they have tags on this. So there's a blue tag and a red tag. So the red, I believe, would be the hot, and the blue would be the cold. And here, basically adjacent to the laundry room, is the mechanical room. This is where all the HVAC will be installed. The ERV will be in here, as well as the air handler. And ERV is energy recovery ventilation. So I'm interested to see how that's going to be beneficial. Supposedly it's very beneficial. Don't know what this orange line is for, possibly for the air conditioning. There's a switch control for the either for the ERV or for the entire HVAC system. And there's, I think that's just a light switch. If not, then this is a light switch. I'll find out more about that later on when we come back, probably in a couple of months from now. Okay, so again, this is the garage. I'll get back to that. So continuing down the main hallway, this will be a closet right here. And I guess the 32 right there, I guess that will be the width of the door opening for the closet. I'm guessing, I'm not sure. And then continuing on to the great room, to the left is the kitchen area. This structure will be what supports the kitchen island, as well as the kitchen sink that will be installed in the island. Along this wall will be the cooktop, and you can see the electrical connection for that. And then we get a little window as well over the counter. So all this, not all this wall, but all this wall that contains the kitchen will have cabinets and countertop. And then this wall will have also cabinets and countertop. And then over here is where the refrigerator cabinet will be. So the refrigerator will fit into that space, and I did confirm with them that the cabinet is wide enough for a 36-inch wide refrigerator. There's the electrical outlet right there. There's another electrical outlet. I don't know what that's for. And yet, here's yet another electrical outlet. I believe this one will be for the oven and microwave combination. This one I'm not sure though, what that one would be for. Anyway, so continuing. Eventually, the kitchen runs into a rather small dining room area, large window so the neighbors can watch you eating dinner or whatever it is that you're doing in the dining room. And the lighting for the dining room will be just, it looks like it might be just a single or possibly two LED lights. And there's that orange water line again. That is the fire suppression system. Here's a double gang light switch. I imagine that'll be for outdoor lighting. Here's the door that goes to outside, and I'm told it's a metal frame door. And it's also a security door. You can see when you turn the handle up like that, let's zoom out a little bit, that it extends a couple of bolts. You can see the bolt down low, and then there's another bolt somewhere, there it is, up high in the door. And like Aldo said, why do you have a security door? Security door to keep people out, but it has a glass face. Interesting. Anyway, that's the way it is. I'm not going to go outside, but there you can see the electrical line. That's a 220 volt connection. And also beyond that is, there's the hose bib. So that's hose bib number 3 for outside. And this area will be the great room. Nice large window. Sliding window, I like that. I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't know how it secures or what the deal is with that. Oh, there we go. If you pull hard enough, it will slide. So they had it they had it open like that, so maybe that's actually they wanted to vent a little bit. I don't know. And then this window, I don't know how they lock, so I'm not going to mess with that too much. Anyway, there's an electrical outlet on this outside wall. And there's another electrical outlet also on the outside wall. Here they have the drywall stacked up and ready to install. Overhead, also in this room, you can see the orange fire suppression line, and that does extend into the kitchen over the sink area. So if you're standing over the sink and you start a fire, you get a shower too. Let's come around the drywall and go a little deeper into the great room, as it's called. And again, we have an electrical outlet. This is just a little bit deeper on the wall than the depth of the hall closet. So you have the hall closet in here, and then you have this multiple gang light switch. Looks like that's to accommodate the set of 4 LED lights, as well as the ceiling fan. So that should be 2 switches for the ceiling fan and 1 switch for the lights. And this is also what will be the wall that divides the great room from the laundry room. And here you can see again the other side of the plumbing connections. And on this back wall of the great room, you'll have an electrical outlet up high for those that choose to install their TV on the wall. I won't be doing that. And then you have a multimedia connection there, and it uses what they call a Smurf tube. And that's a tube that you can just pass the wires down through, and there's an outlet as well down at the lower level. Actually, there's two outlets. I imagine one is electrical and one will be multimedia. And I guess this is the same thing here. One more multimedia connector. And I very much like the fact that they're using 2x6 studs on some of the interior walls as well, not just the exterior walls. So that's nice. Here you can see the electrical conduit being run through the studs. Or in this case, it's multimedia connectors running through the studs. And they did a nice job of sealing up the holes that they made to get the connection, the cables run through the walls. Now we'll come back from the great room, and this will be the hallway that leads into the primary bedroom. That looks like it will be the drain for a sink down there. An electrical outlet in the entryway to the primary bedroom. Then we have a light switch outside the door. Interesting. The light switch goes outside. I imagine that'll be outside the door, unless the door gets placed here on those beams. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Actually, that would make more sense. So then you place the electrical switch just as you step inside the door. This would be like a little, where I'm standing now would be like a little landing area inside the door. And you continue beyond that landing into the primary bedroom. Again, we've got the connectors for lights. 1, 2, there's number 3 over there. And number 4 is, I need to zoom out a little bit. There's number 4. Okay, and again we see, it's a little hard from this angle, but we see the orange water line for the fire suppression system, and it releases right there. That is the cold water connection to the hose bib that's mounted outside the wall. Looks like they did a little shaving on the metal. Somebody's banging around out there. So yeah, they shaved that board to allow the PEX line to sit within it. And it also looks like that board down there got a little bit wet, but that's okay, it'll dry out as long as it's not leaking, but I don't think there's any water connected to it yet. So I don't know what's going on there. Still in the primary bedroom. Nice large window. Say hello to the neighbor. That would be Michelle, I understand. and electrical outlet on the outside wall. Again, notice the 2x6 joists for added insulation, for extra insulation, I should say. Another electrical outlet that'll be on one side of the bed. And there's the other electrical outlet on the other side of the bed. Some kind of plumbing line. Not sure, possibly a breather tube. I don't think it's called that, but that's all I could think of right now. And then from the primary bedroom, we come into the primary bath. This will be the shower. There's the mix valve for the shower. And if you're really tall, which I'm not, you can look out the window while you're taking a shower. Or somebody can stand on a ladder outside and watch you while you take a shower. And then this will be the seat inside the shower on the back, on the far side from the mix valve. And you can see that the entire wall has support in between the studs, and that will be handy if we ever want to install grab bars for entry and exit and just maintaining balance in the shower. So that will all be a glass enclosure. The inside will be some kind of fabricated stone. I'm not sure what it's called. And then on this side of the primary bath, we'll have a sink with a long countertop and cabinets. Then over here will be another sink with a smaller counter and cabinet area. And then in here will be the toilet area, the reading room, as we call it. And then we walk in to the closet, interesting closet. Actually, it's kind of odd. I don't think it's that, I think it's kind of odd the way they've done the closet. So I'm not sure what that is. They had a hole in there that they've closed up. I'll have to find out what that's about later on. And then in the closet is a light switch. So you got a little bit of a closet area when you first walk in to the left, and then you've got another part of the closet over here to the right, or straight ahead actually. It's not even to the right, it's straight ahead as you walk in. And if not for this corner that juts into it, it would be kind of an L shape, but so a little bit of an odd primary closet, but so be it. That's okay. And then inside the reading room, you notice the walls all have these braces in between the studs. So that's nice because if you need to hang something or add some support bars, you can do that on those braces. And there's the light switch. One light switch and one fan switch, I imagine. And that, I believe, concludes the interior. So let's walk on over to the garage. Take a look in there. Wasn't planning on making a longer than 35-minute video, but here we are at the 35-minute mark. I'll need to go grab my tape measure in a minute and find out how wide this front entry door is. See if I can get a 36-inch wide refrigerator through here. I imagine if I turn it sideways, it'll go because it's not as deep as it is wide. So I think it'll be okay. But I will get my tape measure for that and double check it. And I'll do that for this garage door as well that we're about to walk through. There's no door installed on it yet, but looks like a nice wide door. So first stepping into the garage, this is the extra outlet that I requested for a freezer. It is a non-GFCI dedicated outlet, so there's nothing on this circuit except for this outlet. Over here we have a light switch, and again over here is the control wire for the garage door opener. It will connect to the opener, and Jim very kindly told me that he will run another wire from where will be the overhead, the wall-mounted garage door opener, so that we can have it connected to this location as well on the wall by the entry door. The same wire, so that'll be nice. Don't have to run the wires on the outside of the wall in that case. Walking towards the front of the garage, you can see those are the wires that lead to the safety sensors. Make sure that no little kids or animals or anything get caught underneath the garage door when it's coming down. And the garage is actually pretty good width. It's wider than I anticipated it being, but that's a good thing because I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff in here with some shelves and build up some shelves to put in here as well. These are the electrical panels. So there's one that we're seeing the back of that actually opens up on the other side, on the outside. I'm not sure what this brown one is. Don't know what that is. I think that's got, nope, I don't know what that is. And then this is for the solar. This is where the solar comes out. And I guess we'll connect to the span panel. And there's the wiring leading into the span panel. They told me what this is, but I've forgotten. To double check on that. There's an electrical outlet again, and there's a light switch for going outside. There's an electrical outlet there as well, in the middle, basically in the middle of the wall, pretty close to the middle. And this will be the space for the water heater. Let's take a step outside. And there's a hose bib right there. Right by the garage service door. And then we come back outside. I don't know what those are. Should have asked. I didn't even notice those before. I would say clean outs, but that seems like an odd place for them. Then I'll come back around to the other side just to document the placement of the water bib or the hose bib over on that side of the house and its location. There's the entry as we see it from outside. That'll be the porch area. I think that'll have a concrete floor and a railing going across the front. The area that I'm walking in right now will be the front yard. And from around the corner we should see, yep, there's the water lines, the water main. There's a hose bib up high there. It's a little bit messy back there, so I'm not going to walk through that. But anyway, there's the water line. And there's a look along the side of the house from front to back. I think that's it for now. So we ended up in a 42